This is The Run Through. I'm Nicole Phelps. I am very excited to be joined in the studio today by our very own Chioma here in person from London, and Vogue contributor Liana Satenstein.
Hi. Well, hi again.
Hi again. Yeah, I saw both of you this week.
I know, which is so nice. Nice to see you, Liana.
I'll take it.
A new season is almost upon us. I mean, summer. We thought that we would tackle some of the evergreen warm weather dressing quandaries. Liana writes our addressed column for Vogue. Laia Garcia Furtado, ex-Vogue Runway editor, launched our style column a year and a half or maybe 2 years ago. She has since moved on. And Liana, who writes about personal style and knows a lot about keeping other people's closets clean, was our natural choice.
Oh, thank you, Nicole.
But tell us, what do you like to write about at Addressed?
I like to write about like the more saucy sides of what to wear and what not to wear. Like the first one that we did was bras, I believe, in the office, and whether or not it was kosher not to wear a bra in the office.
Wow.
Well, I was a
I'm sorry. I'm such a boomer. I'm sounding really boomerish. But what? No bra? I guess you can, not?
Chioma, you've like seen, like, you probably know what cup size I am at this point. I never wore a bra at the office, like, for better, for worse. I mean, actually, probably for worse. Irene Kim goes, that's why you never got a promotion, is because you didn't wear a bra at the office. But I just thought, because I was like,
for the record, you did get a promotion while you were here.
Well,
okay.
Depends.
Well, you can shape the narrative the way you want.
I know. I did get a promotion. I did. From fashion writer to senior fashion writer. Yeah, I did.
Let the record show.
Yes. Okay. Even though I didn't wear a bra. They saw past it. But anyone can see past my chest. It's very small. But I didn't think it was a big deal not to wear a bra in the office, because I was like, you know what, actually... Sorry, not to like digress, but I feel like it actually makes sense for this.
Be our guest.
Yeah.
When I first came here, I was wearing like these insane bulbous push-up bras from like TJ Maxx, because I was like a hangover.
Me too. That's something that we have in common. I gave up my padded bras while I was at Vogue.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
I wrote about it.
Wait.
I think many years before you wrote about it.
I was like, did I copy my own?
Well,
boss?
I mean, no, it's always relevant, right? I think it's such a political item of clothing. I think bras are so political. They're just like anything that's the closest to the body is really political.
Your chicken cutlet bra, that's what Sarah Moore calls a padded bra, because those pads are so big and
and you can slip them in and out. Yeah.
Like a chicken cutlet.
Yeah. But I had one. And then I remember Jordan Bickham gave me that makeover when I first came here.
Have you ever told the story about how you were dressed up for your interview? Oh,
yeah, that was rough. But it was great, actually, because I had nothing to wear, surprisingly, but also unsurprisingly. At the time, I just had nothing. I had zilch to wear, and I was wearing, remember Sally called me the night before, and she's
Sally
like,
Singer?
Yeah, Sally Singer. She called me and she's like, what are you wearing? And I was like, I'm wearing a black blazer. She's like, absolutely not. And then I felt like an idiot, because then I learned, I guess it's like everyone knew that, like,
black isn't a great color to wear for a Vogue interview. I think that's kind of universally known.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Or a pantsuit, like not the.
I love a pantsuit.
Unless it's like got some
zest,
but not like you're going for like a corporate law interview. Just make it fashion.
I know. Well, I didn't. So then Sally was like, we need to give you a makeover. So I came here, and she had Chelsea Zalapani, one of the market editors at the time, dress me from the closet. And it was a white shirt dress.
I remember it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And these green suede mules. And then I had like my beat up.
Do you remember the brand?
No. I don't remember any of the brands.
Lim? I can't remember.
Sounds about right for that time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like 2014.
Yes.
Well, as our listeners can tell, there are nobody better than the two of you to talk fashion details. So we are
nice, Nicole. Nice segue.
You got the worst of the two of us. We're like, we'll go off on a tangent.
We are going to jump into some of the questions that our readers have for our style columnist. What's your shoe of the summer? We must talk about Mathieu Blazy's very unusual sandals at his Chanel show in Biarritz.
The topic of conversation in every group chat on every comment section in the last 24 hours.
Oh, yeah. Phalangeal fodder for the ages, might I say. I have to choose my words carefully, but I would like to, those are deliciously demented demi sandals. Like those were insane. Like
demi sandals. That's a word. That is the shoe. It's a demi sandal. I like that.
Thank you.
Okay, describe them in detail.
Okay, so it's like you have a sandal, but it's circumcised, so you only have half of it. And it's only covering like it's covering the heel. It's not covering the sole, and it wraps
it's like
around.
A heel cup.
Yes. Oh my God. Wait, I wrote that in my Substack this morning. I said heel cup.
Great minds.
Yes. Like a bra for your heel. I said the heel is the crotch of the foot.
Oh my God.
And it's like a panty crotch, and it's like holding the heel in a very chic, obviously elevated way. It's in leather, it's in gold. And I thought actually it reminded me, and I can't say his name, not in the French way.
Right.
Or like Hermes. It's the god Hermes shoes, the Talarias that he used to fly.
It is very that when you think about Greek mythology, it is that, isn't it?
Yeah. And I was like, this makes sense. Like Greek island vacation, whatever. Like, you know.
It's a perfect cruise shoe. I mean, you can only wear on sand.
Yes.
Do you think they'll make those?
No,
they will. They have to now.
Why?
Because it's like, it's more like buzzy foot talk. And I think that's what we're into. If they didn't sell it, it's like edging. It's like edging the customer. Like you got to give him the damn shoe at the end of the day.
It's hard for a New Yorker to wear.
I mean, you can't even wear flip-flops. I spent my first summer wearing flip-flops, and my feet were actually hideous. I just had to carry wet wipes everywhere I went. I mean, I don't even want people to know this. This is disgusting. Never again. I mean, I'm so glad I didn't catch a disease.
Is that why you're missing your pinky toe on your right foot? No, I'm just kidding. Chioma has all her toes.
Just about. I don't even know how I kept them. Strong immune system at the time.
Yeah.
Youth will get you through a lot. But yeah, I mean, what is an appropriate shoe to wear in New York?
I think Birkenstocks. We see Birkenstocks everywhere.
Okay,
it's a sturdier sole.
Yeah, it's very. I mean, I was interested to hear Leslie Framer talk about how many Birkenstocks she has. She's like, famed Vogue assistant turned megastar celebrity stylist who is the real Emily. So she was talking about how much she loved Birkenstocks and she kept them under her desk. We first did a story on how it was around the time that Phoebe Philo did a very elevated version of Birkenstocks. I can't remember the year. And it was
pretty early.
It was pretty early, and we just relaunched Vogue, Vogue.com. And everybody in the office, we were all wearing Birkenstocks. So I did a story about how Vogue editors love it, and it went viral. And Page Six covered it because they were like, oh God, this ugly shoe that Vogue editors wear. And I was just like, we've moved so far beyond that now. But it was crazy to me that kind of story would like make people feel like, oh, this is so controversial. Like, how could you? But I've definitely had like ex-boyfriends who looked down at my Birkenstocks and were like, this is not, like, I think they're comfortable.
They are very comfortable. Let's talk about office shoes. I wear Birkenstocks all summer to work. Do you think they're appropriate? How much toe is too much toe in the summer at the office?
I'm pro toe. Like, I love to show them. I think,
yeah, you're a mule girl, right? You like a kind of a very kitten heel mule.
Yeah, I do. But I mean, I also understand that like I work in a creative industry where like you're allowed to have some, let me use the word again, phalangeal flex. And I know like if you work in say like something more corporate where the dress codes are more strict, then like, okay, you might have to cover all the toes. But like for me, I like the idea of a flip-flop. Obviously it can be kind of gross and it's, especially if you're in the city. So I like a little heel on it, like a little nipple heel. Like,
does that stop the dirt clinging to your?
No, but it looks like it does. It looks like it does.
You just can't wear it for long.
Yeah, you can't.
I'm very strategic about what I show of my foot, and so I'm very like self-conscious about my feet.
No, you should embrace it. Embrace your foot.
Okay.
That should be like a Dove commercial. Embrace your foot. Like, I think, I mean, I have busted feet. Like, I really do.
I've seen
your
feet. Your feet. You've got quite elegant feet, and that you've got nice.
We should have them pan to my feet for this. The free feet video.
Moving on, Liana, for Mother's Day, you wrote about what to do with your mother's not so chic hand-me-downs. Personally, I grew up sort of berating my mother for getting rid of her 1960s and 70s clothes, but I understand that your mom is giving you her old clothes from more recent decades that you're not crazy about.
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm not crazy about it. It's just like I have massive like mommy guilt complex. And I always felt pressure to take the clothes that she gave me. I think it's kind of also like if your grandmother's like, I got you this sweater and you're like, I'm never going to wear this sweater. And then you see her and she's like, did you wear the sweater? And you're like,
especially if she knit the sweater.
I know. Oh my God. You're just like, you're screwed.
I spent many years in knitted sweaters. My very lovely great aunt used to knit.
You like crochet though and like knit things.
I do.
It's like,
yeah, maybe something of it stayed with me.
There you go. See, there's a great takeaway here. Like even if you don't like the thing at the moment, the influence will stay
It's hard
with
when
you.
a loved one gives you clothes that you don't want because they take up space. And for me, like it's like an albatross around my neck, keeping clothes that I don't wear. I don't love it. And I'm constantly cycling through things and figuring out like which pile clothes need to go in, like whether I'm giving it to someone passing it to someone else I love or, consigning it or whatever it might be. And it's hard when you get given something where you're like, this is hideous, but it's from someone I love. I may have to like wear it at some point at an event that they're, at a family gathering or something just to show that like, hey, but I don't know about you, but my family have learned not to give me clothes.
Same. Nobody gives me clothes.
I think they stopped at age 10. Like my mum was like, I am not buying your clothes anymore. You are going to go shop and get your own clothing. And I was very happy with that.
Give me books. That's what I say.
Oh, yeah, that's a nice gift.
I think you can tell when someone gives you something, the intent behind it. Like, I think there are pieces that she really cares about. And she's like, I want you to have this because I really love it. And then some of it is something that she's like, I kind of like it, but I don't want to like fully part with it. So I'm just going to give it to you because you're like the next best thing.
A problem.
It's horrible. And then I get like more stressed out because I have more of her stuff. And then I have this like guilt that just builds like a domino effect because I can't part with it because it was my mother's. So I basically have been like, okay, I'm sorry I'm going to use this term, but it's like I have to do like a Sophie's choice of like clothing these days and be like, this is like the stuff with real intent, like passionate intent because I love you. And this is like, actually, my friend, fellow writer Nicole Rips coined this because I spoke with her about this a while back. A soft trash can piece.
What is a soft trash can?
It's like I am the soft trash can.
Yeah, okay.
Like I'm not quite a trash can, but I'm like, the next best thing. Yeah. You know what I mean?
So
I'm in the middle.
You just throw those things away? Doesn't your mom understand that maybe?
I think so. I don't think she'd ever.
She doesn't want to see them anymore. She just doesn't want to. If you're someone who likes to hold on to things, like my dad's a hoarder, oh my God, he's not listening, but we just secretly throws things away.
I do that with my husband too. He's not a hoarder, but he doesn't clean up his messes. And so sometimes a mess has been lingering so long in the apartment, I just remove it and he doesn't notice. As much as I can't imagine Liana coming to my house to deal with my closet, I do need you to come.
Oh my God, guys, we have this on record. Nicole Phelps has said that she needed me. I never thought this day would come.
Every weekend, I have to spend, an hour or 2 hours hanging the stuff that I just sort of put on top of the rack because the racks are so squeezed. And
do you don't have a storage? I don't either.
No.
I hate a storage because then it's like out of sight, out of mind, that it may as well not exist.
Yes.
And then why am I keeping it?
I really am struggling with space. But this is sort of a universal problem in New York because most of us in New York have, not enough storage. So what are some good general rules for trying to keep a closet orderly?
I mean, I think you should go through it regularly, maybe every 2 to 3 months. What I do for myself is I give myself a time limit. So I don't block off 7 to 8 hours a day to clean out my closet, even though that's probably maybe what it would take. But I do something where I'm like, okay, I'm going to give myself, let's just say 10 minutes. And then I just go as quickly as possible because I think faster and I do it more quickly and I'm more decisive. And it's like a real honest like gut reaction from me. Whereas if you give yourself the whole entire day to clean it out, you take all these breaks, you don't really go through it. And then by the end of the day, you have like 2 pairs of panties and like an old pair of jeans that you're parting with. And you've wasted the whole entire day. So I always say, give yourself a really concise time limit. Something else is like 60 seconds. 60 seconds, find one thing that you do not wear. And I'm sure you can do it. do that once a day for 7 days. And at the end of the week, you have 7 pieces that you can part with.
That's a nice rule.
And for some math, if you do it twice in one day, at the end of the week, you have 14 pieces.
Yeah.
And you're doing this because to make room for new stuff or just to sort of make your closet feel like a more pleasant place to visit.
Yeah, not a trash pit.
Every time I go into like, you know, palatial kind of suburban homes and they have like a walk-in closet, I'm just like, oh my God, my nervous system is calmed and regulated. I can actually just like pick things out, and there's like shoes that you can see. Like, oh God, it's just, that's the one downside of like city living, I think. Living in a small space if you're a fashion person.
Yeah, but then you're just in the suburbs.
I know. I wouldn't trade it for the world, girl. I don't want to. I mean, no
shade to the
anyone,
suburbs.
but I prefer. I'm a city girl.
Let's talk about shorts. We've talked about sandals, but I want to talk about summer shorts. Can you imagine wearing shorts to the office?
No.
Should anybody wear shorts to the office?
Maybe I have once.
Yeah, but I know which ones they are.
Okay, go on.
They're like cut off denim, frayed at the ends, and you always wear it with something like elevated and dressy. I'm not making this up.
Patchwork, right? The patchwork ones?
I believe
and with
so.
a heel.
And
It's
they're
just
like
a lot of
grazing
commitment.
the knee, right?
They're grazing the knee. Like, I remember there was a moment in the sort of like early 2010s when the short suit was like a thing. And I was like, what are we doing? Like, who's wearing this? Are you wearing a short suit? Like, what?
Hell to the no.
Yeah.
I'm anti short just because I hate my legs. I don't know why.
No, but it's also just like
exposed.
I think even if you love your legs, and listen, we all love our bodies that work so hard, and you know, it's like, you know, I don't want to hate my body, and it's not about like not wanting to show it. It's just I just don't want to feel that vulnerable where I'm. I think it's hard to pull those proportions off in a professional setting.
Mm-hmm.
Also, how can you sit down on the subway in shorts?
Yeah, I know. How can you sit in the movie theater on a plane?
What about midriffs? Because there are a lot of midriffs at Vogue, and
you're a pro midriff girl.
I just don't think I knew any better. Like I said, no bra, no shirt.
But I think it's a generational thing, this midriff thing, because I think that it is so normalized. Like I see young women showing their midriff very, like it's not a thing. Like I think it's being completely normalized. Whereas maybe in the early aughts when it was first kind of emerging, it was very much like
a come on.
Yes, exactly.
It's weird because I started here when I was pretty young. I want to say like 24. Oof. But I was showing my midriff a lot, like all the time. And I think now I would never do that again. I think sometimes it might peekaboo by accident, depending on the shirt, but like I would never actually wear it like that ever again.
I mean, what I do like about it, that the current generation is there's no body shaming, and there's no sense that you have to have washboard abs. And I think what I like is that we see all kinds of body types wearing crop tops, and that feels like, personally, when I see it out in the world, I think I'm really encouraged by how this younger generation, oh God, I'm gonna sound like a boomer.
No.
But like just how kind of embracing and people, like especially young women, are of their bodies and showing their bodies. And I think that's fab. I still think in a professional setting, it doesn't feel appropriate, you know?
Same. Yeah. I mean, even though I did it. But like I'm saying, like now that I like understand like the actual workings of an office, and like if I could rewind, I wouldn't wear my midriff in a professional setting again.
How do you balance comfort and looking chic in the summer when, you're sort of wrestling with the very hot, humid conditions outside?
Not
the frigid...
in the UK.
Like rain all day.
Make us jealous.
I mean, you could be jealous, or you could be feel sorry for us.
Chioma, what do you wear in the summer in London?
My first summer back in London, it wasn't even sandal weather. I just kind of wore what I'm wearing now. Like you wear a light jacket and a t-shirt maybe, or a shirt. And but yeah, it was quite liberating at first not to have to think about the high summer office wardrobe, because I definitely had lots of solves for that. Like they had specific dresses that I only wore during the hot summers. Like there's this vintage Fendi kind of column dress that I have that's like doesn't touch my body at all. super light, and it feels like nothing, but it's full coverage right down to my ankles, and I can wear like a chic flat, pair it with I'm very into like a summer cardigan, like it's a good layer, something that I feel like I can, when the AC gets aggressive, I can layer it on. But yeah, it's different on the hottest days in New York when you have an important meeting, because it's hideous when it's really hot.
It's horrible. I mean, I used to like suffer in jeans during the summer.
No.
It was horrible because, like I said, I don't like to show my legs. Like I really just wore like these thick, girthy Wrangler jeans from Kmart for like summer after summer after summer.
How did you manage that?
I didn't. It was disgusting. It was like ass marination. Sorry, but I have since kind of learned how to like elevate my look for the summer, and I have this one tried and true JPG skirt that hits like below the knee, which I really like, from Chloe Sevigny.
JPG being John Paul Gaultier.
Yes. Yeah, sorry, double flex over here. But it was like the skirt that it just works well with like, a nice white top, a nice black top. Like I can throw in a pair of heels and like I can look meeting ready. And on my off days, I just have like these pair of like airy Maharishis.
Oh yeah, I have a pair of white Maharishis.
So
that I
good.
love that. They're so good. Yeah, well, how do you navigate it?
I like that too. I like a sort of a loose fitting cargo-y type pant and a t-shirt, and then maybe I'll keep a jean jacket at the office or like an Adidas shell jacket, track jacket. And we all have blankets at our desk. Chioma, a good question for you that someone asked: how do you balance combining prints and accessories in the summer without looking clashy?
I think it was so funny because I was thinking about this question last night, and I was while Googling pictures of Peggy Guggenheim, because I think like you either have to commit to being a maximalist and just go with it and wear like crazy glasses and tons of jewelry and a bunch of prints and just feel good in it, or you do the Chanel thing and you look in the mirror and you say, take one thing off. Increasingly, I have not been in the mood to clash prints so much. I've not been feeling print so much. I've been much more into texture. But it changes.
Texture meaning what?
Just something that has, I think when you look at like maybe I'm influenced by the collections that I'm seeing. Like I think Mathieu does a lot of great texture. I think we see at Chanel, my bad. Sorry, on first name terms with Mathieu. and also Louise Trotter at Bottega. There's just a lot of texture, and in the summer that's crochet. That could be something that has like a sheer element to it. I like layering. I don't necessarily like clashing prints as much as I did before, but I do love layering. I like the idea of playing with transparency, playing with the way transparent fabrics work over color. Like I'll find really pretty neon bras to wear under something like lightly sheer. I just found this really cute Miu Miu tank that has like a sheer element to it. I'm very into sort of layering sheer at the moment. So it's more kind of like this subtle color blocking. I think like prints can get very, they're very specific to a season. Although there are some prints from certain collections that I'll go back to and buy and rebuy. Like recently, I think at the vintage sale that we did with eBay, I bought a Dries. There was a collection that Dries did, maybe it was 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. And it was all these layered floral prints. And I'm just always a sucker for like a really good floral print. I'm just the basic. At the end of the day, I like flowers, but very specific ones. I'm a sucker for a rose print. I love something that looks kind of like, there are certain prints I'll always hop back to. Anything that looks like a Vermeer, anything that like gives you certain like, or something very impressionistic. So, I've collected pieces from that specific collection. But what I used to do was use like a camo print against something more feminine. So that would be my rule for mixing prints. A stripe was a good basic too. Using stripes with a print is easy when you use something more graphic against something more pretty. It sort of cuts it.
Liana, have you bought anything for summer that you're very excited to pull out? I haven't bought anything yet, but I want to show you both what I'm fantasizing about.
What's your inspo for summer? What's the look?
My inspo for summer is spring 2008 Prada.
Ooh,
and that
always
was
a good reference.
That was the fairy collection. And that's been on my mind because there were pieces from that collection in the Vogue vintage sale. But it's actually not that I want. I want these very flared, sort of checked pants and as you said, a summer cardigan.
Yeah,
isn't this such a cute outfit?
Super chic, and the sandal is like perfect for anyone who has like feet phobia, like ugly feet phobia, like I have. That's a good shoe because it covers enough.
Yeah,
I loved the sandals from that collection. I mean, I feel like our colleague Virginia Smith has got a very cool summer wardrobe. Like she always is really good with summer knits and like an amazing pant for the office.
Yeah, she's a sort of a style guru of mine. But have you bought anything for summer 26?
Oh my God. I've honestly just been like on a Madonna merch search. So I've just been buying old Madonna merch. So
what have you
in
found
honor of her
search?
Upcoming album?
This was even before the upcoming album. I think I've found like all the clothes I want in life. And now I'm on to like, I just want all Madonna stuff. So I got like a camo print, like little spicy tank from her Drowned World Tour in 2001.
And how collectible and how sought after are these items? Or not, there's no market for them just yet? Or is it kind of difficult? Because it is like band tees and they can go for a lot of money. Old merch.
I've had incredible luck. I think a lot of her band tees, like, yes, like, are going to be expensive. Like the ones with like her face from like, the late 80s, mid 80s, expensive, 90s.
How much are we talking?
I mean, it's like standard, like 400, 500 upwards. Like,
a t-shirt?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I paid a lot for this t-shirt. So.
Yeah. See,
not that much though.
It can be a lot. But like some of like the tanks, like it's inexpensive. Like so I have that one, and then I have this incredible one. It's during Madonna's Kabbalah era, and it says Madonna in Hebrew. And it's just so ray of light, and it's so like she's
that was
in
a good
her zen.
era.
I know, and
and all this talk of like women in their 40s and being kind of like hitting peak, and that being the era, she kind of led the way for that because that was she kind of broke the rules of what was age appropriate dressing at the time, and I loved the way
she's still doing that.
She's still doing that. I mean, she looked amazing at Coachella. Like, I mean, I don't think that there was any time in my life where I would feel good going out in a corset.
Oh,
and
she rocked it.
She looked amazing. Obviously, we're also entering wedding season. And one thing I've noticed in the way, because we cover weddings so much, is you start noticing changes in the way people dress. And there was one wedding that we covered and everybody was so naked. And I was like, what are the rules to being a guest? Are there any? Because there used to be very finite rules, like you don't wear white, you don't try and upstage a bride. You sort of have to like, it's not about look at me, it's about celebrating them, right? What are the rules now to weddings, to going as a guest?
I mean, I think they still apply. I mean, maybe now like you don't wear white, maybe you can like skate by with like a pale yellow. I mean, I still think it's the same. I mean, maybe I just haven't been to enough weddings, but like, I'm not going to show like my hoo-ha. I'm not going to like wear white. I probably couldn't upstage the bride. I don't have hair and makeup on site like that, so forget it. But I still think there has to be a level of respect when you attend a wedding.
Like, what's your go-to outfit for a wedding?
Same thing. I have recycled this dress till the end of time. I have one wedding guest dress, and it is just this beautiful butter pale floral print silk, not a slip dress. It's like it's like a high neck, kisses the collarbone, and like kind of like a thick strap.
Did you wear this to Steph Yaka's wedding?
I did.
And what about your wedding suit that you had? Have you recycled it? Do you wear it again, or is that something that you can never?
Oh, I don't know if I can fit back into that one. That was once in a lifetime. I do want to figure out how to rewear it, but I'm like,
would you dye it? Would you do any of that, or would you keep it? Because it separates, right? It was
it's separate.
It was beautiful.
Skirt suit, yeah.
Made by your dear friend.
Oh yes, Svetlana Bevza, Ukrainian designer. She's just such a great designer. But she measured.
Also dressed our colleague
Jessie Heyman for her wedding. Svetlana Bevza, you are the wedding girl. I mean, she measured me at the Odeon, I think, just standing up. It was bizarre. And then she took the measurements back to Kiev.
Perfect.
Yeah. She nailed it. I mean, I don't know how to recycle it. It just looks so dressy. So I'm like,
what about the jacket?
The jacket, I could. You know what? Claudia wrote that piece, right? About recycling her wedding dress.
Yeah, she was, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I should do that. It's just wear it with jeans one day.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. Okay.
Or you could wear it to a wedding.
I could. If I dye it, I need to dye that thing first. Okay. Thanks. Wow. Styling tips
what do
from
you
my...
wear to, what do you like to wear?
I just shop my closet for weddings. For Steph Yatka's wedding, I wore a great Sarah Burton for Alexander McQueen white tux with a big bustle in the back.
Oh my God, I love this.
Little black pants with lace on the hems.
How cool. Sounds heaven.
Yeah. Any parting thoughts? Summer dressing?
I don't know. I feel like we touched on all the pain points.
Yeah, I'm like, just make sure you get those toes buffed or filed or painted.
That's it for the run through. Thank you, Chioma and Liana. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.